Cardi.
And Jay Stedman.
We want you to join us on WDAY Radio this Saturday for a pair of North Dakota Shrine Bowl All-Star football games.
The 2023 games will be played at Jerome Berg Field on the campus of Mayville State University on Saturday, June 24th. 11-man game kicks off at 4 p.m. and the 9-man game is slated to kick off at 7 p.m.
So join Jason and I beginning at 4 on Saturday afternoon right here on WDAY Radio.
Dakota Valley Electric reminds you, as kids may be helping out on the farm, to take time and practice safety, as a farm-related accident can happen in an instant. Often that one decision will change the course of life forever. Make sure to look up, look out, and identify all power lines on the farm. Practice safety tips around the farm. Supporting child farm safety on the air because they care is Dakota Valley Electric in Milner and Edgeley, your touch-tone energy partners.
And welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus on this Friday, June 23rd, 1:06 in the afternoon.
Where's my rain, Dean?
Well, it's outside, and it is we're finally getting some more widespread rain, showers and thunder showers from generally the central southern valley. We've got a line of showers and thunder showers stretching from about White Earth through about central Clay County, through the FM area, out towards generally right along the 94 corridor, Castleton, picking up some moderate rain right now. Also another batch of some heavier showers from about Fullerton through Edgeley. Also another batch of heavier storms between about Wahpeton and Abercrombie. That's moving north. So we're going to be in and out of these showers and storms for most of the afternoon. Northern Valley kind of escaping this. I know there's nothing going on right now in Grand Forks, but yeah, this is generally, at least for now, a Central and Southern Valley rain event. And there's quite a bit of rain on the way, guys, and that's great news. Finally. This is like
how great a news is it?
It's money from heaven for our ag community. I mean, when you guys were out in the field, how dry was it out there, Bridgette?
Well, if you get a chance to watch our video, which will be released here shortly today, Justin and I had an opportunity to go put a soil probe in the ground, and we took up about a 6-7-inch core. Mm-hmm. And when you ran that through your fingers, there wasn't a lot of moisture there. It didn't stick together very well. I mean, Justin, were you surprised to see what it looked like?
I mean, yes and no. I figured it was going to be dry, but I didn't think it'd be bone dry down to 7, almost 8 inches.
Well, and
yeah, so it's needed, like you said, Dean. There's a lot of folks who want to have it, and in fact, Michael, who was out there running the camera with us, said, usually when I walk in a field, it doesn't crunch under my feet because some of that clay, it had dried out pretty hard, and it did make a crunchy sound when you walked on it.
Yeah, and that's the good news is this rain, although it's it's becoming a little more widespread and will be that way for the rest of the afternoon. We're going to see these showers and thunder showers increasing. Temperature's really not going much. We're in the low 70s right now, and that's about where we're going to stay. We haven't seen a whole lot of rain as of yet, but again, this should add up this afternoon and evening to about a quarter, half inch, which is good. That we'll take that. Some areas will get a little bit more than that. Some areas in the far northern valley a little bit less. And then the main event comes out at us on Saturday. Saturday looks wet all day long. We might see a few breaks here and there, but for the most part, if you have outdoor plans on Saturday, you might as well just scrap those because we've got a lot of rain. Some of that could be heavy in the central and southern valley, especially as we head into Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, and then that tapers off on Sunday. If you want to know how much rain we're expecting out of this, log on to WDAYradionow.com, and I've put an article up there and posted 3 of our computer models on how much rain we're expecting. And we just had a caller call in. He didn't have time to go on the air, but 1.6 inches of rain in Wahpeton. And I know they had that thunderstorm complex that went over Wahpeton.
Really?
And that's what's moving northward towards the FM area. The heaviest rain from that complex in Wahpeton. And yeah, looking at radar, that that wouldn't surprise me if they picked up a quick inch of rain. That's stretching up just to the east of Abercrombie right now. And the heaviest, at least the heaviest part of that, is expected to pass into southern Clay County here, approaching the Barnesville area and eventually Sabin within the next hour. But it looks like the heaviest part of that should pass into central and eastern parts of Clay County, where I think we'll get clipped by that, though, here in the Fargo area. So we're seeing one batch of rain right now, another batch coming from the south, and we'll see these waves of rain for the rest of the afternoon, on and off, not constant, but it's a wet one. And again, that's great, great news.
So currently, you guys, I am in Jamestown. It is raining, not heavy, but it is raining. There were showers that started probably somewhere around Tower City, between Tower City and Valley City, and it rained through there. So you're right. Not heavy. That's what we want. We want a nice soaking rain. Oh, there's the buffalo. Let me wave. And meanwhile, it's going to be great. It's going to be great by the time that this all ends for us. We just want to see widespread showers everywhere. So that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and like I said, there's going to be pockets of heavier rain, like that cell that went over Wahpeton, picking up that 1.6. So, but overall, this is really some. And we were talking about this earlier, Bridgette. This is just timely rain. We couldn't have went much longer with the dry weather. We're on, what, a 2.5 week stretch, almost 3 weeks of very dry weather. So this came at the right time.
Well, I think, you still have some folks that have gotten timely rain, and they've done really well with it, and they've been very happy, because it wasn't just 10 days ago I had a farmer tell me, he was plowing through some water as he was trying to get around in a field. Now, that's not everywhere. Did we think that the crop was on its last legs? No, but you hear me say all the time, we want timely rainfall, right? So we get it when we need it. This is that time frame, and this is going to work out well for so many places in the area.
Right. So, if Parker's listening.
Where's my rain, Dean?
Well, here it is, Parker. I hope you don't.
Watch it not be raining at Parker's house.
Oh, it sure looks like it on radar. I don't see how he's missing this. But hopefully it's not too much of a good thing. I mean, because there will be some areas that probably get a little more than they want. But again, the ground is pretty dry, so this should be able to soak in pretty well in most areas anyway.
I think so. That's the nice thing. We're a nice slow soaking rain. We're not getting a hard packing rain that's going to wash soil particles, cause any erosion, and run into all our rivers and streams. This could get there eventually, right, if we had good, strong subsoil, but we need this to go in the ground, because if it turns hot and dry again, which I'm waving my finger, I don't need it hot and dry again for a while, you two. So we want to make sure that we got moisture for the long term when we need it.
Yeah, all next week looks pretty seasonal. Our normal average high is right around 80, and most of next week, upper 70s to low 80s, with more rain coming in the middle and end of next week. So all in all, not a bad looking forecast. Again, we don't want too much rain, and I'm sure there's going to be a couple of spots that are like, all right, we got way too much now. But again, we should be able to soak most of this up as dry as it's been.
Yep. I mean, you still have areas in Barnes County that did not get to plant their crop in a timely fashion on a lot of fields because it was too wet at that point in time. Mm-hmm. So there are still those areas out there. I'm always thankful for rain, and here's why. I may have some listeners here in the Red River Valley who are like, would you stop talking about rain, lady? But I grew up in the south central part of the state, and especially in the 80s where we had significant drought. That was a time frame where you couldn't wait for rainfall, and you were always so happy when it rained. So it's a little bit about perspective, right? That's where mine comes from, was rain was always a good thing, no matter what.
Absolutely. Now, Bridgette, did you say our Here We Grow segment, did that drop yet online? Michael?
It will be soon.
It did?
We needed to get a couple of approvals.
Michael just gave me the thumbs up, so I guess it did. Okay, it must have just dropped. So thank you, Michael. Appreciate that. So are we going to talk about what you guys found?
They got to go watch it.
Justin? Well, they got to go watch it. Is Justin less angry to talk about this yet, or how are we going to do that?
I'm still ticked off about it.
How ticked off are you?
Just watching the video right now, I can feel the blood boiling.
Is Storm mad?
Storm mad.
All right,
yeah.
Storm, explain while you're mad.
All right, well, we went out to our field yesterday. We all know it's been hot, dry. Some people have gotten rain. Our field missed every single shower over the last 10 days, basically. And, Bridgette, to me, it looks like our crop's a little behind the game right here. Is that a fair assessment? It should be a little bigger than what it is.
It would be nice, but based on our planting day, we're probably doing all right at this point.
Yeah, you think so? All right. Well, it looked like it was a little
We're
behind to me, but it's doing all right. The rain's going to help, but we get there just to see how much moisture is in the field.
Did we lose Justin? Okay, I think
We might have lost Justin.
we
there
lost
for a sec,
Justin.
So I can pick that up for us, folks.
Okay.
And that is, we got to this field, and there's a road, literally a road built of timbers in our field that we were not expecting. And I'd gotten a little bit of a heads up from our farm cooperator, Jim, who said there's some activity going on here associated with the diversion, but also there is an underground pipeline there, et cetera. And he just said they're going to be doing some construction work. Now we know that there is some road construction. I have had a conversation with Jim, our farm cooperator, as to why that's going on. And good news, we're going to talk to Jim about that next week. So that's why you got to keep watching every Friday, folks. Is that road going to stay? How is it going to affect our harvest? What's really going on there? And why does it look like the start of a parade? More questions to answer.
And in the video you were talking about, are they going to be able to get the combines into parts of that field because of that?
If that road stays, so I'm already posing the question, if that road stays, you're right, that would not be conducive for harvest equipment to get through there. So what is that going to mean to, do we abandon some of that? What's the compensation for it? Because our farmer Jim has a loss of acres to incur as well. It's not just all about us. I mean, I make it about us, but it's not just all about us.
And now you say like a temporary road, so you think it might be there temporary just for to get the equipment out for the diversion, and then they remove it. Even if they remove it, though, it's eaten up a little bit of acreage.
Well, it has been, and so this road that was constructed is to get to a staging site for some work that's going on out in the field. And once those timbers get picked up, they've already been laid over the soybeans. Soybeans don't just spring back and go, oh, good, I'm fine, don't worry about me. So there will be a loss of those acres there, yes.
Mm. Well, hopefully it's temporary.
Yes, we're going to see exactly what's going on there. And again, because I will be in and out quite a bit next week, I'm sort of semi on vacation. Looks like it's up to you guys to do the video with Jim and find out what's going on.
Exactly. Well, that'll be interesting to find out, and hopefully we can get some answers on that. But we're running up on break here, so we got to pay some bills. And when we come back, we'll hit on a couple of ag topics. If you have any questions for us, feel free to give us a call on the Red Wing Shoes hotline at 701-293-9000. Again, that's 701-293-9000. If you have any rainfall reports you want to report to us as well, feel free to give us a call. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
It's Outback Days going on now at Muscatel's Subaru. While supplies last, Muscatel's has new Outback models available now. No waiting. All with Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive for safety and security 4 seasons of the year. Ask about Muscatel's complimentary accessory credit with new Outback purchase. Muscatel's Subaru, just off Exit 1 in Moorhead or online at muscatelsubaru.com. Subaru, built to last.
Hello, Fargo. This is John Adams, your host of Talk of the Town. My show is designed to highlight everything great about the city, the valley, and the country in which we live. I've had the great fortune of meeting, working, and living with wonderful people in the Fargo-Moorhead area, and I want to bring their stories to you. Human interest stories, sports, timely topics that affect all of us in the Red River Valley. Talk of the Town with John Adams. Tune in for positivity and fun.
Attention electricians, Northern Valley Electrical Service Inc. is looking for trained electricians to join their team at the Altru Hospital build in Grand Forks. Northern Valley Electrical Service Inc. is one of the largest and fastest growing electrical companies. They're family oriented and it's like working with good friends. They offer great pay and incentives. Working hours up to 10 hours per day, Monday through Saturday, but not mandatory. Join the Northern Valley Electrical Service team today. Call Danny at 701-741-0723.
Hey, Jace, I have a great idea.
What?
On Friday, June 23rd, we're going to go to the longest open house and we're going to jazzercise from 9 to 10.
No, you can't be serious.
I definitely am, and just to incentivize you, we're going to have Jersey Mike subs afterwards.
You know, you should have led with that. That's the longest open house, 64-hour, record-breaking event raising funds for a cure to Alzheimer's.
That sounds like a great idea, Jace. We're inviting you to join us Friday, June 23rd with the Coffee Club from 8:30 to 11 a.m. for the longest open house.
The 10 best days of summer are near. The Red River Valley Fair is bringing good times, delicious food, and great music July 7th through the 16th. Make sure you bring your appetite for the funnel cakes, cheese curds, fresh squeezed lemonade, and foot-long corn dogs. Plus, attractions like pig races, face painting, goat mountain, and train rides included in admission. Don't miss your chance to be part of the 10 best days of summer. Head over to redrivervalleyfair.com before ticket prices increase.
It's summer in a big way. So go big at Mall of America. Your summer adventure is on with a stay at Radisson Blu Mall of America, conveniently connected to the mall. Swim a little, spa a little, shop up to 500 stores, enjoy every kind of dining, and so much more. Nickelodeon Universe has live Paw Patrol shows. Then get creative with the youngest ones at Crayola Experience. So you can go big just by going to Mall of America. mallofamerica.com/summer.
You know the voice.
1,000-mile-an-hour soup. Well, let's just get right into it, shall we? Why not? As always, a bunch of topics to toss out. We hope you respond to them. I like getting the emails, but I'd rather talk to listeners on the phone. It's just so much more fun. And that was a treat to go to A&W once in a while. Stepdad go, okay, let's go. We're going to load up. Let's go. We're going to A&W. Oh, God, yes!
He's Jay Thomas, heard weekday afternoons at 2 here on AM 970 and FM 93.1 WDAY.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday at 6 a.m. At Creative Planning, we offer full-service, comprehensive wealth management services through our in-house team of wealth managers, accountants, and attorneys to integrate all aspects of your financial life. Don't settle for a standard portfolio or a set-it-and-forget-it plan. Get all the expertise, all the advice you need, all in-house. Visit creativeplanning.com. That's creativeplanning.com.
Let the Goose River Bank become your community bank. They believe a strong bank builds strong communities and would be proud to be your bank.
All right, we're still having trouble with Justin's audio. Justin just throwing we can hear you, we can see you, Justin. We just can't hear you. So maybe we should have Justin call in, Jacob, and we'll get him on the phone here. So, but we've got where were we at, Bridgette? We were talking about the diversion project and the road that is going through our Here We Grow acreage out there.
Well, have I got some comments for you? First of all, it's been a very busy break. Thank you for all the people who send Facebook messages, text messages, emails to us, ag@flagfamily.com or weather@flagfamily.com. And you can always call us on the Red Wing Shoe hotline, 701-293-9000. When you watch the video and see us walking down that road, which was built of railroad ties, you will see me walking in my Red Wing boots, and you might need a pair of those too. Teresa and her gang up on Main Avenue do a fantastic job of keeping us ready to roll to the field. Now, our banker, Chad Prewy with Dakota Bank, he sent a message. He says, I was a little curious about what was going on in your field when I drove by on Tuesday. Just so you guys know, I will not finance railroad ties. There's no return on investment for those. So Chad is not allowing us to get more money on that situation. But overall, that's what's going on. There is a railroad tie road built into our field. I guess you could call that a drive-through.
Oh, wow. Where's the rim shot on here?
You don't know where any buttons are. Stop.
There you go.
Okay. So you know what we could do in celebration of how well things are going now that we're getting rain, Dean? I got a story for you.
All right.
Okay. So you may be familiar with Busch Light beer. Well, the corn cans are back. They will be here through July 3rd, so you can stock up for the 4th of July. Busch Light will donate 25 cents to Farm Rescue for each can sold up to $200,000. They've been doing this promotion since 2019, and they've raised nearly $1 million on behalf of Farm Rescue. And if you're not familiar with Farm Rescue, they are a North Dakota-based charity. They will go out and plant a crop, harvest a crop, or even this time of year, do haying for ranchers who may be suffering from sickness, other illnesses, physical recovery from surgeries, they've been injured in a farm accident, all those types of things. And you can apply with Farm Rescue when you need help. They are now close to 1,000 farmers across 8 states that they have served and helped, and they just do a wonderful job. We are very excited to have them as part of the team in North Dakota.
And those cans are awesome. Are they just doing it on Busch Light? Are they doing it on, I know they have Busch Light Peach, I believe, or maybe it's Busch Peach,
they do a Busch Light Peach and a Busch Light Apple, but this is just on the Busch Light, the regular.
The regular,
stuff.
okay.
I'm a terrible beer drinker, so I'm really probably not good at this helping part of the consumption. So the rest of you who are buying
I'm
it
a good
by the
beer
pallet.
drinker.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was softball, by the way.
All right, Justin. Justin's back from the bar. Are you? Thanks for rejoining us, Justin. We appreciate it. It is Friday.
No problem.
It is Friday.
It's a free for all Friday. I was all excited and everything was working great, and then my microphone here for some reason is connected, but it's not running through the board at the studio. So there's some technical issue with my connection here.
Was Bentley touching that by chance? Did he get a hold of it?
I saw him running around here in the studio, so me and Bentley might have to have a little conversation later.
Oh man! So we were just you missed out. We were talking about the road, the diversion project road. That's whether it's temporary or how long that's going to be out there, and how that might affect come harvest time. And I guess we'll find out more next week when we go out to see Jim on the farm next week. And if you're watching on our live stream, we're showing pictures of that right now. And surprise when you guys went out there for sure.
Yeah, my
it was a little bit of a shock.
It's a temporary, and it's supposed to be out by harvest, but we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
Good deal. Well, I want to update radar right now. Nothing severe, but that thunderstorm complex that went through Wahpeton, it is dumping an extremely heavy amount of rain right now on the Rothsay area. That's going to stretch into Barnesville here within the next half hour. We still have some showers and thunder showers here in the FM area, pushing northward. I think we'll see a little break, and then that band of rain will be pressing in from the south, and then some steadier rains just south of Jamestown. I know that's where you're at, Bridgette. There's some steadier rains to your south, moving northward, and kind of a line of showers and thunder showers stretching just north of the 94 corridor. We're continuing to see more development as that area of low pressure, one wave of it, sweeps a little closer to here. So it's going to be a wet afternoon. It's going to be a wet weekend. I was hoping to get a tea time in on Sunday, but might have to wait till afternoon. And even then, I think the courses are going to be pretty darn waterlogged come this weekend. But again, this is we'll call it money from heaven. We need this rain, and this couldn't have come at a better time. That's for sure.
And everybody, we're going to continue to watch the weather. If something severe were to pop up, guys, what's the drill? How are you going to take care of that?
We'll be all over it like a hobo on a ham sandwich. We'll be covering you as much as you need it. We'll be covering. I'm not expecting a lot of severe weather here, but boy, Justin, I don't know if you had a chance to look at the morning model runs, but if you know anybody that's going to be out, let's say from the Black Hills down into areas of, let's say, western parts of Nebraska, they could have a big severe weather outbreak here later today. all the ingredients look like they're coming together out in that part of the country for a big severe weather outbreak. And then that spreads eastward for tomorrow, but it should stay to our south. I'm really not expecting much in the way of severe weather up in our area. But if you're traveling south on 29 through South Dakota towards Nebraska, they could have some severe weather stretching over into Iowa as we head into Saturday. But yeah, for our area, not much. But man, if you're watching us on live stream, there's a pretty good bullseye out into areas of from the Black Hills into western and north central parts of Nebraska. And, that'll be spreading into a very, very arid region. The extreme drought conditions in northeast Nebraska and stretching into parts of northwest Iowa. They need the rain, and there's going to be some good rain heading towards that area of the country as well. So, it's been a weird weather pattern that we've been in. With a lot of blocking in the atmosphere that normally doesn't happen as we go into summer months, but that's what we've got going on, and that's finally starting to break down, and we'll finally start getting into a more normal, if you will, type of weather pattern with temperatures returning back to where they should be, at least for the time being. I've had a lot of people ask as well, what does a 4th of July weekend look like? And how about we talk a little bit about that after we take a little break here. Sound good?
Sounds good. And then, Dean, I want to visit about white mold and when we come back and what all this rain might need for our crops. We'll talk about that too.
Excellent. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing in me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new place. Nothing is every day.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
Rev up your engines for Track Talk with Jason Berg, the ultimate racing radio show every Monday night at 6:30 on WDAY Radio. From the hottest drivers, latest racing news and analysis, to recaps of the best dirt track races in the region. All live from O'Kelly's Bar and Grill. If the dirt's flying, you can bet Jason Berg is covering it. Track Talk is brought to you in part by Gateway Chevrolet, Brady's Service, O'Kelly's Bar and Grill, Magnum Contracting, and WDAY Radio.
Celebrate your 4th of July with the FM Redhawks as they take on the Milwaukee Milkmen at Newman Outdoor Field at a special 2 p.m. first pitch. Plus, bring your family fare receipt of $25 or more to the box office and receive a pair of first base bleacher tickets to the game for free. See you at the Redhawks game on Tuesday, July 4th at 2 p.m. For more information on all the upcoming promotions and to get your tickets, call 235-6161 or go online to fmredhawks.com.
It's about tradition, values, and family ties. Pucklet Chevrolet GMC's tradition of giving back to our community remains a priority, and that's why we've partnered with many local nonprofit organizations and events. And our tradition of giving this community a fair and honest offer continues. Right now, you can save over $6,000 on select new Chevy Silverado 1500s. We're Pucklet Chevrolet GMC in Valley City. Tradition, values, and family ties.
See dealer for details.
Thunder Road is open now with expanded hours for the summer. Go-karts, batting cages, bumper cars, 2 mini golf courses, and you've got to check out the renovated Thunder Road Arcade and Laser Tag Arena. Maximize those hours of extended daylight with hours of fun for the whole family at Thunder Road, where the action never stops.
Crank up your nerve, grab your get up and go. Ride the rolling thunder to a place called Thunder Road.
Next to the Flying J Travel Plaza off I-29.
You're invited to worship with us at Olivet Lutheran Church in Fargo. We offer a 9 a.m. Sunday traditional service with communion where all are welcome to participate. If you can't worship with us in person, you can always watch live or later on our YouTube channel. Following worship, we have time for fellowship with coffee and donuts and light service projects like packing up food for our food pantry. For more information, go to olivet.org. Encounter Jesus, experience grace at Olivet Lutheran Church on the corner of 13th Avenue and South University Drive, Fargo.
Welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for rejoining us. 1:35 on this afternoon. Can you guys hear me now? Can you finally hear me?
Finally.
Take it as a yes?
Yes.
All right. Well, option number 3 was the way to get in. I guess we just had a little trial and error, you know. I'm going to blame the sun on this because I think we've been getting hit with a lot of solar radiation over the last couple of days. I think it's starting to fry a lot of the electronics out.
Well, it could be the sun or it could be something else, Justin.
You know, it very well could be because they've kind of gone rogue and they've skipped away from their schedule that they usually have.
I can hear Bridgette's eyes rolling right now.
I can see them.
Yes,
I'm
you
just
can.
imagining her neck just snapped right off her shoulders.
So
you guys are lucky that my eyes didn't get permanently stuck in the back of my head from listening to that part.
Oh, man.
Hey, don't make that face too long, Bridget. Your face will stay like that.
Remember, they always told us that when we were kids.
Hey, Dean, before you do that, quick little update there.
Sure.
Phone number to the program is 701-293-9000. That's the Red Wing Shoes phone line. 701-293-9000. You can always reach us via email as well, weather or ag@flagfamily.com. And, of course, we do live stream with live chats on there on Facebook and YouTube Live as well. Just search Weather and Ag in Focus.
So we were talking about 4th of July. I've had a lot of emails asking what the 4th of July weekend is going to look like. And if you're following us along on our LRC calendar, which which Justin put together here months ago, back in March, I believe it was, Justin, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was even sooner than that.
Was it? And I believe the 4th of July weekend, I don't have it pulled up here in front of me. I probably should have, but I'm pretty sure it had a chance for storms over the 4th of July weekend. And our computer models are kind of, they're starting to come together on that. It doesn't look like a totally washout 4th of July weekend prior to the 4th, but it looks like after that, we've got a decent shot that we start to turn windy and hot for that week of the 4th. So, the 4th of July itself looks dry from this standpoint, but the weekend before we could have some scattered storms. Temperatures probably, it looks like 80s, which isn't bad, but the 4th of July itself looks windy and hot. From this standpoint, we'll see how that holds together. And with all this moisture, Bridget, you were talking about, was it white mold you were worried about?
There's a consideration, right? Because white mold historically has been a concern in soybeans in most of North Dakota and also in our sunflower crop. So when you think about rainfall, if we are in a heavy wet situation with a dense canopy where we can't get a lot of wind to blow through there to keep those leaves dried out from time to time, we could see white mold. If that would happen in anybody's field, that's where one of our Here We Grow sponsors, Gowan, comes into play. Their Affiant fungicide is built just for that. 2 modes of action. That would be a product you're going to want to look into. And by all means, make sure you go back and watch one of our Here We Grow videos where we talk about Affiant on our Day with a Sprayer with Marcia Van Leer, their Northern Plains sales rep. So I just want to make sure folks know their options because that's one that we're going to explore if the need should arise for our soybean fields.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're prepared. We're shooting
We
big.
are.
We're going for
We are very
65
prepared.
bushels.
That's right. We're going to get there. Now, we
Hey, how's
also
everyone's
have
crop
a
around the area
question.
doing and looking? I was talking with a buddy of mine down in southern Minnesota. They got a bunch of corn down there, and their corn is like chest height already.
Okay, so for those guys, they planted sooner than we did, right? They got into their fields earlier.
Well, they
at
actually
11:30.
planted about the same time, middle of May.
Your guys did. We still had corn going in a bit later than that, but you're right. They probably did get a little bit of a jump start. We do have corn around the area that is that tall. It just depends where you are, right? Not everybody's crop is short. Here today at 11:30, I did a Twitter live chat with a farmer from East Central Illinois. He said they started out strong this year, but have really tapered off in their rainfall as well. And one of his concerns is, when are they going to get rain too? Because they want to keep their soybean and corn crop going to its best capacity, just like we do. So everybody's kind of thinking the same thing in the traditional corn growing state.
Right, and I had something we were just kind of chatting about his beans last year compared to our beans this year, and just talking bean talk. But we got switched over to corn. We were talking about that, and we were talking about how dry it is, but how well the corn is able to tap deep into the moisture, into the soil profile, because the root of the corn can actually go down, if not tall, deeper than the corn is tall. It can jump down to like 10 feet, can't it? The roots can?
Well, I just got an email from one of our listeners, David. So I'm just going to read this without a whole lot of preview. He said there have been a lot of complaints about dry weather lately, and rightfully so. However, pre-inflorescence plants will generally grow roots to find moisture. If the plants haven't shown signs of heat stress, such as any wilting, they will be better off in August because of the dry spell. We can assure you, Justin, this dry spell has very likely helped your beans survive a dry spell in August and push you on a higher yield. What would be interesting if you could dig a trench in your soybean field, see how deep your soybeans roots are. Then if you could find a bean field somewhere else that's had rain consistently, dig a trench and compare depth. And David, we did pull up a couple of soybean plants when we were in the field earlier this week. They're not very deep. They're still fairly shallow right where we were at in that particular spot of the field. Looked like a slightly lower area, so it's not a great comparison. So I do like your idea. Let's look in a couple of spots across our field and then get a comparison where somebody else has gotten more rainfall. That'd be a great plan.
Yeah, I thought the root looked actually really good. I mean, it was where it snapped off from me pulling out of the ground. It must have been, I don't know, what would you say, Bridgette? 7 inches before the bottom of that root snapped?
We maybe weren't quite there yet. I wish I would have remembered to bring a trowel with me that day. I had all the other tools with me, but I just didn't have a little trowel so we could dig that up and take a look at it. So that was one thing that we could do again the next time.
Sure, definitely. We can take a look this coming up week if we can dodge some showers, maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But when we were looking at the root, I pointed something out that looked a little unusual with it, and it's completely normal with beans. And me and my buddy were actually chatting about it. He's like, hey, how do the what do they call them, nodules or something, look on the beans? Yep. Is that what they are? Oh, nodules, the dad from Wild Thornberries.
Nodules. Right, which I have no idea what that means. But yes, those were nodules on our soybeans, and they look good and healthy. So that's excellent. That means our plant is in good health overall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm excited to see how they do with all the rain that we get here.
And guys,
speaking of all the rain, that's all my background noise. It is raining harder right now.
Yeah. It's speaking of rain, if any of our listeners are down in the Rothsay area, there's been a cell parked over there, and it's not severe, but it is raining buckets in Rothsay right now. If you're listening from down in that general area, shoot us a call. Let us know how much rain you've gotten. I'm guessing that's a quick 1 to 1.5 inches over the last half hour. I mean, it is just raining buckets down, and there's more development down to the south, which keeps moving into that area. So unfortunately, when I say we're going to get some widespread rain, there are going to be some areas that get caught under some of these individual cells where by the time we're done on Sunday, this is just going to be almost too much of a good thing in isolated areas. That's it. That's the only bad thing about the amount of moisture that's available in the atmosphere as this system continues to pull out of the Rockies.
I like the fact that, man, people are actively sending a lot of questions today. We had another one. This had to do with irrigation. Eric wants to know, what is the difference with well water or water from a field versus like a city water, because city water can be treated, like with chlorination or fluoride, et cetera. Okay, so I hope I take this on the right track that you were trying to get it answered, Eric. And so you're right. In city water or even in rural water situations where it's treated, you can add chlorination to it, et cetera. But that's not the worst thing. A lot of people pull from those areas when they're spraying their fields. Irrigation systems generally use a well where you go deeper into an aquifer or its own separate well. So does it hurt the plant in any way? Not necessarily, not unless there was something accidentally added that was too much, right? Sometimes you can have too much of a good thing, say a chloride. But generally speaking, we still use treated water like rural water systems when we were applying fungicides and so forth to the field. So is there a difference? Yes. But does it cause anything to change in the field? Not necessarily. So I hope that answers Eric's question. I just got that one through an email and wanted to try to answer it so we didn't lose track of that this hour.
Yeah, I got another email question here from Nate. I'm going to ask it here in a second because it's directed to Dean. But going
what did
back
I do?
You just wait. You just wait there. When Dean was mentioning about the rainfall, and some of it might be a little too much of a good thing for a few of us with, localized areas obviously seeing a good, decent amount of rainfall by the end of this week. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bridgette, but as long as that water doesn't sit on top of the soil, submerging the plant for more than a day, they're usually okay, aren't they? As long as they're not sitting in that water getting baked in sun and it drains quick.
So let's talk about just what you said, where Dean is pointing out that they're getting a heavy localized shower at Ross Bay. When that happens and you have ponding in the field and those puddles form around the plant, you're right. You want good drainage. You want it to soak down into the soil profile. But if the plant sits there and they'll say all of a sudden it turned to 95 degrees, it's like cooking noodles on the stovetop, right? They're sitting in hot water, sunshine, the whole 9 yards. They don't like that. So if we're going to get that rain, we want a situation where we get it to either drain off the field or go into the soil profile, and then also for our temperatures to be a little bit moderate until they recover from that, so it's not overly hot for the plant.
Well, that looks like what's setting up. And Dean, do you want your question now, or do you want it after the American Ag Network?
You know what? Let's take it afterwards. You're
going to want to sit down for this one.
All right, hold on. I'll get the chair.
All right. Well, phone number to the program again is 701-293-9000. If you want to join in on this conversation, ask a question on this finally free-for-all Friday. Again, 701-293-9000. Or you can utilize what a lot of people have so far today, and that's our email inbox at weatherorag@flagfamily.com. And also remember, you can ask those questions live on the live stream on Facebook or YouTube. We're going to get caught up with the American Ag Network right now. When we come back, I got this doozy of a question for Dean.
Oh, boy.
We'll probably throw in an ag topic, and we'll have a little more fun. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
At Wimmer's Diamonds, we make every possible effort to find you something special. As the best jeweler in the Red River Valley, our diamond experts can help you find exactly what you're looking for. Natural or lab-grown diamonds. You choose the size, the shape, the cut, and you choose the engagement ring style. Classic or trendy, ornate or simple. At Wimmer's, we would love to help you leave no stone unturned when finding the perfect engagement ring. Visit Wimmer's Diamonds at 4582 32nd Avenue South in Fargo.
Hey, it's Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki. Join me, Justin Storm, and Ag Director Bridgette Readel throughout the summer as we attempt to grow a crop of soybeans. We're calling it Here We Grow, and we'll be documenting what it takes to farm in the Red River Valley and beyond. Look for new videos every Friday on WDAYRadioNow.com, our YouTube channel, and social media pages. Here We Grow is brought to you in part by Titan Machinery, AB Seeds, Envita, and WDAY Radio.
Boost your crop's health with Domark 230ME and Badge SC fungicide exclusively from Gowan, USA. Domark's systematic action teams up with Badge's outstanding mixing properties for unbeaten disease control on sugar beets, dried edible beans, and canola. Experience the power of two different modes of action with Domark and Badge. Don't wait. Contact your local ag retailer and ask about Domark 230ME and Badge SC. Always read and follow label directions from Gowan, USA.
Family Fun is calling you to Chihikapa Zoo.
It's lions and tigers and bears, oh my. And did I mention rhinos, cheetahs, and zebras? The Chahinkapa Zoo is now open for the 2023 season. The exhibits, all the attractions are waiting for your family or group. So many reasons to visit the Chahinkapa Zoo this summer. It all starts at the website, chahinkapazoo.org.
Fun is calling you to Chahinkapa Zoo.
The Chahinkapa Zoo.
Profit taking continues in the grain market. You're listening to the American Ag Network. I'm Jesse Allen with this market update. We're being joined now by Mark Lucas of Stone X with our market analysis here on this Friday. Mark, let's take a look at this grain and oilseed trade. And, I think for a lot of traders, a lot of farmers, especially, they don't necessarily want to know what this market's doing. More profit taking on Friday as we kind of followed through from Thursday's action. And really overall, the weather forecast doesn't look that much wetter as we go through the weekend, but it just feels like a lot of traders are just taking some profit off the table and taking some risk off the table here headed to the weekend. Is that what you're seeing, Mark?
Yeah, that's right. The what I'd call the heart of the Corn Belt, the Illinois, Indiana corridor down there, really the 7 to 10 day forecast has not changed much, and they have virtually no precip in that area for the 7 to 10 day forecast. But fringe areas, we've picked up some rain, as a lot of people in the listening area know. We've had comments from people in North Dakota that, very good rains. We've had a lot lately. It can hold off for a while. Some good rains in eastern South Dakota and other spots, 50 miles away. We totally missed it. So hit and miss, but at least, you look at the forecast today, tomorrow, into late Saturday, some very good coverage in the northwest part of the Corn Belt. So I think you're right. They're just taking some money off the table, and decent export sales on beans this morning. So that's helping the old crop July and affecting spreads, keeping the July quite a bit firmer than the back months on beans. But that's kind of been the driving force here today.
All right, well, great thoughts there. Mark Lucas of Stone X with our market analysis in for Arlen Suderman here today. You're listening to the American Ag Network. I'm Jesse Allen reporting.
Welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for rejoining us. Free for all, finally Friday. 1:51 this afternoon. Scattered showers and thunderstorms around the area. We'll give another update on that here in just a moment. But if you want to join in on the conversation, ask some questions, again, the Red Wing Shoes phone line is 701-293-9000. And we had an email from the studio inbox. That's weather@flagfamily.com. And this was from Nate. And it's for you, Dean. And it's a weather question. Nate's got a question about what's going to be going on this evening. I don't know if you've had a chance to read that email yet.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, it says Dean and Justin.
It says Dean and Justin. Yeah. All I see is this message is specifically for Dean. Do not ask Justin to answer it.
All right. Well, yeah, Nate wants to know, he's going to the Red Hawks game tonight and wondering if they're going to get the game in. Will they be able to have the fireworks afterwards? Well, I don't know what the time frame is in terms of how long they can delay the game. I don't think the game will start on time, but I think it'll be delayed. I think as we get after 7, 8 o'clock, our chances of rain do go down. So I think they'll get the game in, and I think that you'll probably be delayed off the bat. And then after that, the chance of rain and thunderstorms should diminish a little bit after 7, 8 o'clock. We'll see a break towards the late evening and into the early overnight before the next system comes in from the south and west. So I think they'll get the game in. I think it'll be delayed, and I think the fireworks afterwards should be a go. Again, I don't know what the time frame is. Can you have an hour, 2-hour delay and then start the game? I don't know what the time frame is on that. Like what's the latest they could start the game, because it more than likely is going to be delayed at least off the bat.
It's kind of what I was thinking as well.
Yeah. Well, then see, you could have answered. You didn't have to have.
See, I could have, yeah. All you had to do is ask me to answer it.
Hey, I want to run down real quickly because remember I was asking about Rothsay. I said, man, that storm's been parked over that area. So I was just taking a look at the NDON site, and over the last 30 minutes, 1.25 inches continues to pile up in that Rothsay area. We've picked up about 0.4 of an inch here at the station. Glendon has picked up just under 1 inch. And again, this is just over the last hour or so. About 0.5 inch in the Sabin area. And let's see. Wolverton checking in about 2100s. But you go north of Hillsboro. Hillsboro has not received anything, although radar is indicating that is spreading into Hillsboro right now. But further north in the Northern Valley, nothing. So this is generally a central and southern valley, although the Northern Valley will get in on some of this here over the next couple of hours. But this is the heaviest amount's going to be in the central and southern valley here. So we could pick up, yeah. And we were taking a quarter inch, some spots a half inch, but again, we're getting some localized inch amounts already. So this is going to add up here over the next 48 hours. Unfortunately, again, there's going to be some spots, as we said earlier, that get too much of a good thing by the time this is all said and done on Sunday. But again, it's still much needed moisture.
There's no hail in
We're
it either.
taking it. That's what I was just going to ask.
Right.
We're taking in all the rain, but no hail right now, you guys. That's a big deal.
That's fantastic news, right? That's the last thing we need. I don't foresee any either. I really don't. Tomorrow afternoon, I just don't think, south of here, a chance for some hail, but I don't think it's going to creep this far north. We'll keep an eye on it though, and if something pops up, we'll definitely let everybody know.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah.
Well, hey, how about we hit an egg topic here? Bridgette, you all right with that, or do you want to get your thought in here?
No, I was going to bring one of them up. So which one would you like to start with?
Oh, we didn't talk about corn and beer already, did we, while I was having my technical issues?
Yep, you missed the beer. Sorry.
Oh, man. I wanted to be a part of that one. All right, well, what about funding available for ag in the classroom?
Okay, so North Dakota Department of Agriculture has accepted proposals in regards to spending about $100,000 to bring ag programs into elementary or high school classrooms. Ag in the classroom has brought all sorts of ideas to teachers. So if you have a proposal, something like a mini greenhouse kit. I worked with a fourth grade teacher in Grand Forks. She had once taken her ag in the classroom money, bought a flour mill. Kids brought wheat in it. They ground it. They made it into flour. Then they baked it into bread. They went through all of the science and math and everything that they could use in that process that she was able to use in their classroom. So for teachers who are out there and have an interest, you can email me, ag@flagfamily.com. I'll pass on information, but always you can look to that from the North Dakota Department of Agriculture. It's a great way to supplement things you do in your classroom. I know you might not be thinking about getting back into school anytime soon, but there's always ideas bubbling around that teachers need to fund. So it'd be a great one.
You know what I'm thinking with that little thing you just shared with us, Bridgette?
What's that?
I'm thinking that Dean and Bentley might enjoy doing that, crushing up some flour and making bread. Doing it all by hand.
Sounds like a great idea, although, Dean, how are you about hand labor in the kitchen? Feeling okay with that?
Oh, do you know where that flour would end up? It would end up all over the floor, into the living room, and
How is that different than how anybody else cooks? Really?
Well, that's
really?
a good point.
Not.
That's a good point.
Yeah. All can be done. It's just fine.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. And, also along the lines of things that teachers are doing in the classroom, every year fourth graders get to attend what's called the Living Ag Classroom. This past winter, it was hosted in Lisbon, Fargo, Minot, and Bismarck. Over 4,000 fourth graders were able to see hands-on demonstrations in crop production, in livestock, but also having to do with many of the crops that we raise here in the state of North Dakota. The North Harvest Bean Growers Association, they were there talking about dry edible beans, helping kids understand how beans are grown, where they wind up, how they get processed, the whole 9 yards. So any educational opportunities kids have, make sure you get them there. Ag is important every day.
Yeah, it definitely is. It sure is. And it's fun to have those little things where you go step by step by step. You kind of get a little bit of the education on how it goes from a field to your table, like you were just explaining. You get the wheat, you grind it up, you make the flour, you mix it together, you toss it in the oven, you take out a cake.
That's very true. And you know what? You could make that bread, Dean, and it wouldn't be all that hard on you, except it might take a time or two to get it a little bit right. But you've got that kind of time, right?
Time and patience, absolutely.
He's got both of those.
Yeah, right.
Except for when it comes to technology.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well.
Well, I think that's going to about wrap it up for the show today, guys. It was a fun one. I'm sorry I was absent for the first 27 minutes of it, or however, but, technical issues do happen from time to time, and it's just good we got that sorted out. Hey, remember, episode 10 is live now on Facebook and YouTube for Here We Grow. You can head out there, see what we found in our field, check out our moisture profile as well as the heat, and how our beans are doing. And if you have any questions on them, just drop a comment, and we'll get back to them either in the comment section or on Monday's episode when we come back from 1 to 2 o'clock next week. Until then, everyone have a great weekend. Watch out for a rainy Saturday. The Jay Thomas Show is coming up next.
AM 970 and FM 93.1.